in this courthouse. And that's where we are. We're at the courthouse where justice is due to be served. But before I get into all of that, let me just go into just some historical facts. Brother, how did you find the warrant to be served in this case of the death of Emmett Till?
Okay. Well, and I can't take all the credit, sir. It started about 2 months ago. I got a call from Keith Beauchamp and Jariba Hill, Attorney Jariba Hill, and they were sort of looking for a warrant that they thought existed. They wasn't sure at all. So after discussing with him, I said, well, come to LaFleur County, come to the courthouse. We go up to the 3rd floor where the old jail was located and go through those documents, the boxes and paperwork and things of that nature, see whether or not you could get lucky to find the warrant. So, of course, he wasn't successful at that particular time. So he came back down to my office, we sat down, and I explained to him the process of how the warrant, if it exists, where it would possibly be found and how we can find it. So I began to talk to him about the whole process with the warrant itself. I knew if a warrant existed, that more than likely a judge had to sign an order. And I knew if the judge signed the order, then that order would be placed in the minute books, which is the minutes from all our court proceedings and things of that nature. Once we narrowed that down, I knew that there was a case file associated with that. So having known that information, of course, Keith, who is a filmmaker with the Emmett Till series and everything, he came back along with Emmett Till family members. His first cousin, her daughter, and her daughter's husband, along with another young female. They came down, they went to the basement, and right before they found it, Senator David Jordan came in. And Senator Jordan is a historian here in LaFleur County. He's a state senator, city councilman, and have sued the city and state more than any person for black rights, you know. So anyway, he came down because I called him to let him know that Keith had came, and went down to the basement along with them. And we sat down, we talked, took pictures, and they started reminiscing about some times when Keith and his crew came up to the state capitol to take pictures and everything with a documentary with the state senate. I think we found it. And I walked back down, got the file, looked at the file, looked at the box that it came out of. Everything was still in place. Looked at the original paperwork from the file. And in that file, I saw the warrant. On the front of the warrant, it had Miley's name, Bryant, was it Bryant the other one? And Roy Bryant, and then Mrs. Roy Bryant on the warrant.
It was Carolyn Bryant.
Yeah, but they didn't have Carolyn, they had Mrs. Ray Bryant. At that particular time. Her husband's name, but her first, Miss M-R-S. So make a long story short, when I saw it, I saw where it was check marks on their two names, but it wasn't a check mark by her name. So I turned the warrant over.
Check mark meaning that it had been served.
It's been served, correct.
So
I turned the warrant over, and once we turned the warrant over, we saw the sheriff comments. He commented on that and said, Mrs. Roy Bryant could not be found in my county. And he signed it George Smith.
George Smith. Now after looking back at this 70 years, was that a true statement by that sheriff?
I can't answer that. I don't know. But I can say that that was his original signature, and it was his writing. And my job was to authenticate that file. So I looked at the warrant.
You have a copy of it?
It was an affidavit in there. Yeah, I'll provide a copy.
You got a copy right now?
Yeah.
We'd like to see it.
Okay.
But I'd like to see it. Can you get it?
Yeah, let me finish this for 1 second.
All my questions gonna be based on the warrant.
So, and I'm gonna tell you what exists in that file, so you can sort of know what you're looking for.
Yes, sir.
So the capias, which is used to serve the warrant, was also attached to that. And then from there, you had the affidavit, you had the court order from the judge, and that completes the file itself. So I'll be happy to get you a copy of it now.
We'll be happy. Thank you so much.
All right.
We here. This is a special day. This is we in the LaFleur County Courthouse. We with the man Emmett, brother Emmett Standstill, Stockstill.
Elma.
We bring Elma Stockstill,
Stockstill,
pardon me. I'm in so many cities with so many names, but Elma Stockstill. He's the man that found the warrant and is gonna bring it to us right now. And I'm with the top activists and organizers in this entire state. I'm talking about from the Black Liberation Movement, Nation of Islam. What's your name?
NAACP.
NAACP.
Charles Martin.
Okay, what's your position in
I'm the
NAACP?
president.
Of the county, state?
No, Sunflower County.
Sunflower County. My honor, brother, to meet you.
Glad to meet you,
NAACP
too.
Freedom Fighter, sir. You
Glad
too,
to
brother.
meet you.
Who's you?
I'm just a citizen here in Greenwood, LaFleur County.
That's state
Like a
representative.
strong citizen. Oh, that's state.
State representative.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. What's your name?
Solomon.
You're the state rep. What's your last name?
Osborne.
Okay, so this is Solomon Osborne.
Yes.
State representative.
Yeah.
What area?
From here.
From here.
Yeah.
That means he sits in the state legislature that decides the laws of Mississippi on the state level. All right. We have Mr. Kareem Muhammad. Brother Kareem Muhammad. Sorry, I'm sorry, Sister Charlotte. Brother Kareem Muhammad. He's the one that brought us the family that was Emmett Till Foundation in Jackson, where all the press was. But he's a top state activist all around. Kareem Muhammad, I'm honored. And we know Brother Kamal Kareem and Brother Ally, partner, Brother Patrick, Sister Charlotte, Carpenter. So that's how it is in Black Mississippi. Okay, here we go.
Okay, this is actually the warrant. I'll let you hold it. That's your copy.
All right. This is the warrant. Okay, brother, go ahead. Tell us.
Okay, so as
Tell us what we're saying.
Yes, as I stated earlier, you see the two names that was checked off.
Hold on 1 second.
Before you, yeah, sure.
This is the warrant.
Not checked out.
This is an actual warrant. Yes. Come on, brother, come on. Come on, right here with me. Kareem too. Okay. Come on this side. Yeah, stay right there.
Y'all see Kareem on television a lot. That's right. Greenville, man, right?
That's right. Okay, brother, Stockstill.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what we're saying.
Well, you actually seen the actual warrant that was found in the basement
Back
here
up a
in the
little.
LaFleur County Circuit Clerk's office. And you see the names that's checked off. If you look closely,
Excuse me.
there's two names on there that's checked off. And one name that's not checked off.
Okay? So you got two names here. J.W. Millam and Roy Bryant are checked off, but not Miss Roy Bryant. Miss Roy Bryant is Carolyn Bryant. Later remarried, called Carolyn Bryant Donham. But she's Carolyn Bryant at that time, and she's on this warrant as Miss Roy Bryant. Go right ahead.
So from there, you see, of course, it was signed by the clerk of the courts. And it has capials and warrant. The capials is used to serve the warrant. So they have to be signed, and that's prepared by the clerk of the court. On the back side, which is the second page here. Put this stuff there for me. Then I got a surprise for you at the end, too.
And while you're doing that, just to go back to the capers part, that means to bring the body to court. That's what the warrant really means. It was issued to say, bring her to court.
Right, yes, exactly.
And this is a valid warrant, is that right?
That's correct.
All right.
Okay, now this is the back side of the warrant here. And you can see from this that the two gentlemen were served, their names right here. And then at the end here, you see a statement written by the sheriff.
Could you straighten it out a little bit?
Yes, sir.
You want to take a picture of it?
Yes, sir.
This is Ray Brown.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now.
And it
You said
states,
there's a
can you read
statement.
that for me, sir?
Statement says here that Miss Roy Bryant not found in my county. Miss Roy Bryant, I mean Carolyn Bryant, not found in my county. All right. Now, y'all know this case well, right? You know this case well, right? Was she in this county at that time?
From the history, it said that she was.
She had to be.
She had to be.
Because they
They said that she might have even allegedly been in the car when they brought him to say, is he the one? But when a warrant is issued, the way the sheriff can say that they can't serve the warrant is by saying that the person that the warrant is to be served on is not in their county, so that takes it off of them.
Okay, all right, let's continue on, brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see the next page here, what we got. That's an address of Moses Wright, right there, that was part of the file.
Okay.
Okay, this is the actual affidavit here.
Actual affidavit.
And this explains why they picked up.
Straighten it.
Okay.
Turn it
this is
straight.
August 1955 term. This is the affidavit supporting
Kind of like slide your finger to the
supporting
edge.
this
of it.
warrant.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see what it says. Let's see what it says, brother. Come on, hold it right second. This says here that in the name and by the authority of the state of Mississippi, I, John Frazier Jr., County Prosecuting Attorney in and for LaFleur County, in said state, being duly authorized to inform this court of offenses committed within said county and state, after having first been duly sworn, now coming hereby inform the court that Roy Bryant, Miss Roy Bryant, and J.W. Millen in the county and state, aforesaid on the 29th of August 1955, did and then there willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously, and without lawful authority, forcibly seize and confine and kidnap Emmett Lewis Till, a human being, with the willful and unlawful and felonious intent to cause Emmett Lewis Till to be secretly confined or imprisoned against the said Emmett Lewis Till's will and against the peace and dignity of the state of Mississippi. And this is signed by the county prosecuting attorney. All right?
At that time.
Now, you know that if it was issued, if a warrant was issued at that time, and you had to have probable cause for the warrant to be issued, then you know it must have been some strong evidence. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Exactly.
All right. And so this is the affidavit. This is critical to supporting the warrant. Do I get a copy of
That
these?
is your
These are my copies.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm a
You may
blessed
want me
man.
to, let me attest that before you leave.
Please, so he's gonna attest it and put the stamp on it. This is a blessing.
Right on, brother.
One of those two, clerk,
For sure.
the LLC.
We'll make sure that all the major organizations here represented get it. Okay, now you said you had something else you wanted to show.
Well, yeah.
That was it, that was it.
That's it. That's all
The
in the file.
affidavit, that's
And
strong.
the last thing here is not part of the file now. But this is actually Emmett Till monument that would be built here in Greenwood. And Senator David Jordan, Solomon Osborne, and others are the reason why they're getting, along with the Florida County Board of Supervisors. So there will be a written this in the near future, and that's a design for it right there, so.
That's awesome.
Sort of want to share that with you.
Yes, sir.
Brother, thank you. We don't want to disrupt the courthouse.
Okay.
And all of that for you, because we know that's not part of it. We want to clap, but we're not, because we know you on duty.
So we'll do this.
Brother, we honor you, brother.
So we do this.
Appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Honor you, sir. Honor you. God used you in a certain way. Let me ask you this now. After all of these years of researching and being involved and the FBI involved in this case, why now do you think that this is just being discovered?
I think it's just the perseverance of the Keith Beauchamp and others, the filmmaker, and to try to find an ending to an issue that has been in existence for a long time.
70
And I
years.
think this will bring closure if everything is handled properly at the end of the day. So.